Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CO2 Rundown. I'm your host, Chad Owens. Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a great weekend. It was a blast for me. Graduation. Congrats again, son. And congrats to all the seniors once again on finishing this huge step and accomplishment in all of your lives. And there's so much more for you guys to look forward to in the future. And you guys are more ready and more prepared than ever. So congrats again. And yeah, as always, let's dive on in to the CO2 Rundown. The ageless wonder himself, Phil Mickelson, became the oldest golfer to win a major championship in the history of golf. 161 years of majors. He recorded a 73 in the final round to capture this PGA championship at the age of 50. And that is something to literally tip your hat. I'll tip my hat to you, Phil. No one but Phil himself believed that he could do this. Yeah, because there are a lot of up-and-coming golfers, younger, and the simple fact that Phil hasn't won a major in a number of years, and it's been months since he's even placed in the top 20. So yeah, the odds were definitely against Phil Mickelson. But man, as the saying goes, just like fine wine, you just get better as time goes on. And to me, in golf, experience goes a long way. Just like in any other sport or in anything. The more experience you have in the moment, right? Because there was some moments in this PGA championship that didn't rattle Phil because he's been there, done that. And to some young golfer, that moment, that big light moment, you might start to feel a little bit of that nerves. And Phil, like a poised, experienced quarterback, like a Tom Brady, it just didn't affect him. So just want to congratulate Phil Mickelson on making history. And he did it in sort of a normal golf setting, man. Thousands of people there witnessing and watching. Man, what a feeling. What a feeling. Congrats, Phil. All right, like I said, it's Monday, and you guys know what Monday brings. Yeah, the sports guru himself, my guy, Stephen Tsai, is joining us today to talk about some local sports. Check it out. All right, man, I've been looking forward to this day since last week, Monday.
Okay.
I love Monday, Stephen, because I get to be with you. My guy, Stephen Tsai, the sports guru, as I like to call you. And I hope you've seen the segment where I showcased and I featured your story about your story and what you talked about and things that, you shared some personal things about your life and the things that you had to go through. And, you made a decision not to go that route. Yeah. And I got to applaud you for that. And I want to thank you for sharing that, man, because it was inspiring to see and to know that, man, this guy, I've been doing, my show with him every Monday. He reported, while I was playing at UH, that guy, that guy is very inspiring, and so it just gave me a whole new perspective about you. Not that I had any negative things about you, Stephen. It's always been great, but that just gave me a deeper respect. And, so I appreciate that, man. That was a great article.
Well, I appreciate you saying nice things about it. And, and I could see addiction, I guess, it's been like in my family and everything, but I could see it in players. I remember Dan Robinson used to get hurt. They used to put some horse liniment or something on him. They said the huddle used to stink really bad, but a lot of players, man, go through so much stuff to kind of get through the game. And, I feel sorry for them. sometimes when the game is over, those arthroscopic knee surgeries, they still need some more, and it's painful the rest of their life. And they put a lot of people put a lot of things through it, and it's easy to get. I don't blame people for getting addicted to some things to make them feel better, to ease the pain, but it's a struggle to kind of get off of it. And I just, I sympathize with anyone who's battling through those things, and I just think that's one of those things that's a price you pay for the game. A lot of people don't see. They see what's on the field. They don't see the afterwards. They don't see the Mondays. When people are just going through, all the body aches and everything. But they do for the love of sports, and they do it for the love of fans. And but I also think that down the road, that they also need some help or sympathy if they're struggling to try to get off of some of the painkillers.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's definitely an epidemic here, and I spoke on it. In sports, it's about, they call it the pressure to perform.
Yeah.
For a college kid, what's his goal? Man, I got to go to the pros. So I can't afford to not play, right? I got to showcase myself. I got this record I'm chasing. We got this championship we got to win. The team's dependent on me, this and that.
Yeah.
Pressure to perform, Steve. And at the next level, in the pro level, it's even greater because you don't play, you're not going to be getting paid. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that contract. So, and when you do get that contract, they are paying you, and you get hurt, man, it's the head coach, GM, head trainer, owner, they're all in the room. Hey, is he going to be able to play this week? Basically letting the trainers know, doctors, like, he's playing this week, right?
Yeah. It's
something that's on the fence. Yeah, you better believe that they're going to find a way to make sure that this person plays. So all of that, man, it's a crazy game behind the scenes, like you talked about, and that's just part of it. That is part of pro sports. That is part of collegiate sports, and I think it's even trickling down to the high school level, because it's all about leveling up, Stephen. It's all about, that's where I want to go, and in order to get there, I got to perform here.
And even if you're not going to be that guy who's going to go off to college and play or anything, you kind of want to play for your teammates and your neighbors, the guys you grew up with and everything. A lot of people counting on you. And, hey, we're Rough Riders. We know how much the people, Papa Kaleo kind of counted on people to come through, right? So, I mean.
Local, man. You want to represent for your local community.
Yeah.
And even that's, and that's depending on the individual, right, Stephen? That's why the people, the athletes that have that desire to want to perform, to want to showcase, those are the ones that go on, right? Not saying that other athletes that don't want to showcase themselves, those are the ones that may not be willing to do whatever it takes to get on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just honest truth. So it takes an individual to, and their goals and their personal aspirations, right, on what they want. So anyway, long story short, Tim, I applaud you for your sharing of that, and I'm sure it inspired a lot of other people here in Hawaii as well. So shout out to you, Stephen. Okay, let's transition, man. Let's the seasons are coming to an end, if not already done, right?
Right. Yes.
High school, it's all done. Let's talk about the University of Hawaii baseball season. And senior night. Talk to us about that.
Well, it's kind of strange senior day because this is the first weekend they were allowed to bring their family and friends in there. So you were capped. I think each player was allowed to bring 4 family or friends, and so they had a nice little crowd. It was loud. It was just kind of different, where you normally just either have piped in music or piped in crowds. Not baseball. Baseball went without piped in crowd noises, but other events, and to actually hear real people, talking during the game, cheering, yelling, heckling, things like that. It's just a beautiful thing. It was just a beautiful thing to have people come back, and it's one step closer to getting back to normal. The sad part is that these players were separated from their families during the game. The families couldn't go down and give legs or anything like that. That was kind of sad part. Where that's the best thing about Hawaii's farewells, right? Is that the big ceremonies at the end, the hugs and all those things, and they were separated because of these restrictions. And unfortunately, that's kind of a tough things the way things are now, but hopefully things will change and we'll keep growing, and hopefully we can hug each other at graduations and the games, and just bonding, and we can get back to normal. But that was a little bit the bittersweet part of that. And the other thing too is just white baseball team is. We talked about the struggles of baseball, where it's a lot of it's mental, probably more mental than physical. But they were hitting so well for 2 series. They go on a bye, and then they just struggle to score runs and get hits and everything. And I just think, that's sports, right? I mean, there are highs and lows, and you just have to keep at it. The beauty of baseball is you keep getting another chance, usually the next day, or double headers next, after later in the afternoon. But yeah, they've been struggling. It's been tough, but I think the one thing to commend them for is that they've kind of pretty much gone through a lot of injuries, and they've gone through a lot of COVID restrictions, and they've come through healthy, and they've graduated all their players. So I mean, that's one thing. That's why you're there. For school is to graduate, and it looks like a lot of these guys will get chances in the pros. So I think they kind of fulfilled what they need to do. They didn't win on the field as much as they'd hope, but they won in the classroom, and then they won hopefully for their futures.
Yeah, and I think you touched on something there, Stephen. It's the record is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Wins and losses, that plays a role, but I think the true victory comes through the lessons of defeat, those losses, the adversities going through the COVID. Those are all lessons that's making them stronger for the next thing that comes up in their life, right? For these underclassmen next year, when we are back in normalcy, hey, they have persevered through this season. That right there, all of that making them stronger for next season. The athletes that go on right after they graduate, whether it's pros or whatever, they're more prepared for the next piece of adversity, right? They're better equipped. They got more armor because of the things they have to endure during this thing. So that's what I've been saying throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, it was a bittersweet ending. Fans, family, close friends in the stands, but you couldn't have the hugs and lays and all that as you normally would. But the win, and we talk about this in sports a lot, Stephen, the small wins. Mm-hmm. The small win there was having fans in the stands. Yeah. Right. Being able to experience that again. And if you collect a bunch of small wins, in the end, you accumulate a bunch of wins, right? And it's all perspective, Stephen. There's a lot of people out there who like to focus on the negatives, the L's, this, that. And if that's what you're focusing on, at the end, you're collecting, a bucket of L's and negativity. Mm-hmm. Oh, you missed all the small wins along the way. How about focusing on that, right? And collect those at the end. So I think that's, I'd like to believe that that's the way that they looked at this. And that will only help you moving forward from a mindset perspective, preparation for anything that you're going to be doing in the future. Excuse me.
Yeah. And that's what I really loved about when you've been fighting so hard to get players to play sports again, the high schools. And because the high school experience, you got to balance it out. Young kids need to, first of all, be out. They need to socialize. And these are the memories and things that shape a person. That it's your prom. It's not just playing in the high school football games. It's because the majority of the students aren't playing in the games, but going to your games, being part of it, cheering, hanging out with your classmates and everything. These are kind of the things, the bonds and experiences that have shaped people socially. I think just the high school activities, that was a shame of the whole pandemic, because it robbed people of just being around people and experiencing things. And, you never, you always talk about like, you're not gonna remember scores and everything, but you'll remember experiences. Well, when you look back at your high school at the reunion, nobody's going to talk about geometry class or whatever you did, social studies. They're going to talk about the fun times you had, the things you had, going to games, proms, whatever experiences you had in high school, because, there's more to that. High school experience should be about everything. And, and I think that's why I sort of applaud you for trying to fight that. We need to do things safely, but we also need to get back to doing things that we used to do. We can't let that paralyze us for the rest of our, time there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm just going to speak from a personal experience. My son just graduated as well from Honolulu High School, and yeah, we moved back to give him and my daughters a different experience, give him more of an experience and more exposure in football. And yeah, as a senior, you look forward to senior prom.
Yeah.
For me, I was personally looking forward to him being able to go and play um, through the seasons,
Yeah.
because in Canada it's different the way they
Hmm.
operate. So I was looking forward to him playing football, and then
Yeah.
playing basketball, and then playing
Hmm.
baseball, and possibly even track, and just
Hmm.
doing the most his senior year, the proms, the different things. And at the end of it, I think a lot of these seniors, man, I gotta again commend them on the things that they had to go through. Right, we all had to go through things. We all
Yeah.
went through this thing together. But these seniors, it's tough. And even last year's seniors, right, they had the experience. They probably had it worse.
Hmm.
And so, hey, I'm just happy that they got to salvage baseball, spring sports, and these seniors got to experience something. Graduation was a little different,
Hmm.
but at least they have something,
Hmm.
to have remembered. And yeah, we can't forget. As a senior, you can't forget what happened your freshman year, sophomore year, junior
Hmm.
year. There's a lot of experiences throughout your entire high school career,
Hmm.
and regardless, like, adversity is the one thing that's guaranteed in life. One of a few things that's guaranteed in life, Stephen. And these seniors experience probably the most adversity that they will face. As I don't want to say in their entire life, but up until this point, this is probably the biggest piece of adversity that they've all had to go through. And so that's why I said they're so prepared for what's to come. They should be looking forward to the future, excited to take on the world, because they've been through this,
Hmm.
right? And they made it through this. And so there's nothing else out there that's going to really steer them, and that they should be afraid of because of what they had to go through. So that, again, is perspective. If they look at it from that approach, Stephen, I think that they are maybe they have that piece ahead of previous classes, the seniors that didn't have to go through a pandemic. This
Yeah.
class last year, this year, they have that special thing that they can take with them post high school. That's totally preparing them for any other piece of adversity that comes their way.
Yeah, and they got a little bit of advanced work because you always say high school, after high school, is preparing you for the real world. Well, you know what? They got the real world in high school, the real world problems in high school and stuff like that. It's gonna make them all better. And you also have to realize that high school's not the end. It's you graduating. It's greater things. There are people. Everyone can do greater things and have more fun and greater experiences as they go through life, and just keep moving forward and collecting great experiences, because I think that's part of life, and just embrace every aspect of it. And these things kind of make you realize, every time is precious, and make the most of it. Don't look back, don't look sideways, just enjoy the moment and kind of move forward and
Yeah.
everyone can have great lives.
And yeah, they got a lot of life ahead of them,
Yeah.
and yeah, a lot to look forward to. And speaking of looking forward to, we've talked
Yeah.
about this before. After seeing those renders of TC Ching
Yeah.
Field and UH football teams going to be playing in, like, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for that intimate setting. But what I touched on, Stephen, and maybe I'd like to get your opinion on this. I'm not so sure
Yeah.
if you saw what I had recommended.
Hmm.
It's only going to seat about 9,000 people,
Right.
right? And then you got to minus probably, I don't know, 3,000 for corporate partnerships, sponsorships, all of these people that are
Students get 10% of it. Yeah.
students. So
Yeah.
okay, so we got a pool of about 6,000
Hmm.
seats for season
Hmm.
ticket holders. But guess what, Stephen? I think they have last year 12,000 or so
Hmm.
season ticket holders that are up to
Yeah.
renew. And I said, look, there's 6 home games.
Yeah.
Instead of just having 6,000, which is half of the
Yeah,
returning ticket
yeah.
holders. Why not allow all of those returning season ticket holders to experience it? You purchase three home games for 6,000 people. The other 6,000 season ticket holders get 3 games. Hey, you didn't get to experience the whole season, but at least everyone that was a season ticket holder that's up for renewal, has a chance to experience that home game. That's what I suggested, right?
Yeah, and it's right. And I think the one thing they tried to do is reward the people who donate a lot. Of there's some people who donate a lot of money, 25,000 above tickets and all that. And so they want to give them a chance to buy a few more tickets. But then I think Dave Madeline said he's setting aside enough tickets with the hope that everyone who was a season ticket holder will get to experience some games. They'll rotate those, you know. Unfortunately, that might be the Portland State game, but hey, you just give everyone a chance to it, and that's the fairest thing. And the reason they have to limit it to 9,000 seats this year is because they're zoned for only 10,000 right now. They're going to apply for new zoning. They'll go up to 15,000 plus next year. Things will eventually kind of get better, and they'll be able to accommodate everybody for as many tickets as they want. But for now, you got to do what you got to do. But you got to admit that Hawaii kind of came through really quickly. When you're told in December that, hey, you can't play in our stadium, go find Maui, go find Roseville, do something in your own stadium. And for them to come together and buy stands, to find a way to get the field done and everything. You saw the renderings, they're pretty nice. And have it on your campus, hey, that's something for Hawaii, because Hawaii usually when they build projects, it's always over budget and they miss deadline. This one, they hurried and they got it done, and that's commendable. It's not ideal, it's not large enough yet, but hey, they got it done in pretty quick time.
Yeah, and you know what I like about it, Stephen? You mentioned next year's, ability to grow and 15,000. I think 15,000 fans in a very small, intimate stadium and experience feels like 50,000 at the Aloha Stadium, right? And what this is going to do, what is this creating, Stephen? When you have a demand for 15,000, but you can only sit 9, you create more of that demand. And so I think this is a great opportunity for the University of Hawaii football program to create that buzz again, that want to be able to come to the games. And as they expand next year, hey, we only have 15,000 tickets and seats available. Guess what? They're going to have 20,000 people wanting to get in. And as this thing continues to grow, you've built up that want to and that demand that, I want to be at these games. And so whenever the time comes, if it's down the road, if it's a new stadium build away from campus or whatever it is, you've created this demand, right? People always like new. They're excited for new. And so even after 3 or 4 years, however long they're going to be playing at TC Ching, whatever the resolution is outside, new stadium being built, that is going to have high buzz as well. So that's going to, that's where I think they're going to really win, that the players are going to win, because they're going to create this demand. And it's like in Hawaii, Stephen, we should be sold out every single game. We should, right? Every seat in that house should be taken, because, hey, the athletes deserve it. The people of Hawaii deserve to be in those stands as well. They should be supporting their home team. And that just creates an unbelievable vibe, a great buzz. And the experience, I think, is going to be the difference, right, Stephen? Yeah. The experience of every arena, stadium, that's what the people go for too. The game, that's the main attraction. But pre-gaming, tailgating, the activities, the experience of game days is what needs to be created. People blocking off their calendars. I'm not working on game day. We close. Yeah. You know what I mean? That small town mentality that, no, we're closed on game days, man. It's sorry. Like, we're off to the game. That needs to get, that's where we need to get to.
Yeah, I've seen that like in Boise. Boise, everyone's walking around with the blue and orange shirts and everything, and it's you're right. The field game day and everything, and the feeling of and I like the supply and demand part of it, because in the old days, like, hey, when you're playing 50,000 seat Aloha Stadium, you miss a game, you miss a game. This one, you miss a game, there's 6,000 people who want your seat. And you know how that gets. Hey, it's like trying to get Bruno Mars tickets, right? You got to keep trying and trying. So, and you know what I also like? It puts pressure on the new Aloha Stadium to be better, because right now UH is going to be able to keep the concessions. Plain on saying, they get to keep parking, they get to keep advertising. If the new Aloha Stadium wants to pull them out of there, they've got to be way better. They've got to be put together a facility that's really nice, that's comfortable, that and can make money, that
Profitable for the program.
Right. Because if not, Hawaii can just say, you know what, we're kind of fine over here. Let's just stay here. So it's kind of the next move is up to Aloha Stadium to see how well it does and how quickly it gets it done. Because the longer this thing stays at Ching Field, the more people are gonna say, hey,
it works.
It's not bad, because the one thing about Aloha Stadium is it's centrally located, but it's not centrally accessible. It takes things. You can get off freeways, you drive through neighborhoods, and all these things to get there. And hey, it's a lot easier sometimes just to get to UH and get that feel and the vibe of UH. So again, I like this. I like the fact that UH found a temporary solution, and I also like the fact that it puts pressure on the state to make the new Aloha Stadium better.
Yep. Well, lots to look forward to, Stephen. And
one last thing though, trouble with Hawaii is sometimes we have a little too much food or whatever. We like to take care of ourselves, and these are bench seats, and I don't know about how wide they are in the mainland, but we might be a little bit wider. So I'm not sure if we all have to sit sideways or whatever, but it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how all this equates
with the bleachers. Because, because consideration, right? And that's all those things. And with that process, you're thinking about the people, you're thinking about our culture, you're thinking about our fans. When you put the people first, Stephen, any organization, when you put the people first, that's how you gain the respect and the and the trust and the aloha, right? That's what it's about. So put the people first, and as the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. So we're looking forward to it, Stephen, and I'm looking forward to another week, and I hope you're off to a great start this Monday. And I wish you nothing but the best this week, man. Look like you're about to get some grub on. Got wifey back there chefing it up.
It's one of our grandkids' birthday today, so she's
happy birthday.
All right. Okay, well, take care. Thank you, and thanks for the love last week.
Yeah, no problem, Steve. Thank you. Whoo, Stephen, thank you so much. As always, it's I just love having you on, brother. I know you're getting your grub on right now because wifey was chefing it up in the background. Love that. And again, thank you so much for that article you put out last week and that story, and sharing your personal life with us all. And all you seniors, high school, college, you guys have all had to endure a lot and go through a lot this last couple of years. As a junior, now your senior seasons of what you have to go through during this pandemic, but you guys did it, you guys made it, and you guys are prepped for whatever is ahead in your future. So congrats on that. Keep pushing through, keep fighting through adversity, man. Because like I told Stephen, that is one of the things in life that's guaranteed. And you guys have the experience, and anything that comes in your way now, you're running through it. Okay? And we're all looking forward to this new look, TC Ching Field come the University of Hawaii football season this fall. Very excited for that. So again, thanks again so much, Stephen. I'll talk to you next week. All right, I'm sending you another reminder to join Star Events for a virtual career expo on May 26th and May 27th. Job seekers can see what different companies are hiring. They can initiate private chats with recruiters and also upload your resumes confidentially. The event is free to attend, so visit HawaiiCareerExpo.com today and register. And that is it for today's show. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are building momentum today for this amazing week that we all have ahead of us. Thank you all again. I'll see you come Hump Day Wednesday. Aloha.